Typically, we bestow and award and recognize supporters and important folks later in the program. But due to the inclement weather and the circumstances, we're going to move ahead with one of our really grateful expressions from Brenau University, the presentation of an honorary degree to two outstanding people. This is a recognition for Dr. Dick and Phyllis Leet. Now these folks are really role models for the world. They are the definition of a loving partnership, a supporting and sacrificing mutual relationship, who have stood for and to each other in good times and bad. They love and respect their children, their families. They have set a public service bar high for their friends and colleagues here in Gainesville. In the 3 decades since they relocated to Gainesville, Dick and Phyllis have emerged not only as well-respected leaders in our community, but as chief enthusiasts, academic cheerleaders, and financial supporters for Brenau University public service efforts all over this county and the mission that this university represents. In addition to Dick's leadership on the University Board of Trustees, Phyllis's energetic support for the arts, cultural and academic events, and really everything that's gone on this campus and of worthy note in this community has been present for 30 years. Furthermore, in their personal philanthropy, they have joined each other in contributing and supporting Brenau University to a figure close to $4 million in direct support, including funding for the development of a modern chemistry laboratory, support for undergraduate research and other physical science activities, creating a perpetual endowment for the named professorship Richard and Phyllis Leet Distinguished Chair of Biological Sciences, establishing a pool of funds based on both vision and experience in other big-dollar fundraising campaigns for higher education to support this university and our efforts in our upcoming capital campaign. And they have provided something extremely important to this school, reliable, set your calendar by it annual fund contributions in the tens of thousands of dollars every year to help pay for scholarships for the Women's College undergraduates. The Leets have demonstrated a strong belief that if you are a part of an enterprise, whether it's your community or your institution, you support it to the best of your ability. They don't just walk the walk, they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. Appropriate. The Leets bought a home on Lake Lanier in the 1980s because they wanted to be close to their children when they decided to retire. They have 3 grown children, Rick, Alan, and Donna, all of whom have settled in the Southeast, are frequent visitors to this area. Rick and Donna are here today, but Alan left yesterday, but sends us his regards. Dr. Leet interrupted his undergraduate studies while at Northwest Missouri State University to serve in the Navy during World War II. But when he returned to campus after the war, he met Phyllis Combs, a farm girl from Princeton, Missouri, who was a home economics major and his sweetheart. They married on Flag Day 64 years ago. Dick completed his PhD at The Ohio State University. He then worked his way up through the ranks at Amoco Oil Company. After 20 jobs that began at the Standard Oil of Indiana Research Lab and multiple leadership assignments around the country, Dr. Leet retired in Chicago in 1991 as the vice chairman of Amoco Corporation and the president of Amoco Chemical. Since then, he's been an active member in a number of business and professional organizations, in addition to his support for schools, which has been substantial. Throughout his life, Dick has been involved with organizations like the YMCA of Metropolitan Chicago, the Illinois Cancer Council, the Crusade for Mercy, and I think the closest to his heart, and certainly close to mine, the National Council of Boy Scouts of America. which bestowed on him its highest honor, the Silver Buffalo Award. Dick Leet's not a passive member of the Brenau University Board of Trustees. He has a strong passion for the institution, and it's been said, though, that although Dick is the voting member, Phyllis is the unofficial voting member, because Phyllis's passion for education and especially advancement of young women is extremely strong. Neither Phyllis nor Dick has ever been shy about expressing their ideas or sharing their time and treasure for the betterment of Brenau and its students. The same sentiment applies for all of the activities in which they're engaged. Last year, the North Georgia Community Foundation named Dick and Phyllis the Foundation's 2012 Philanthropists of the Year. They also continue support for their original alma mater, Northwest Missouri State, which honored them for the creation of the university's Early Care and Education Laboratory Center and Horace Mann Laboratory School, which they renamed the Phyllis and Richard Leet Center for Children and Families. In 1988, they created the Phyllis Combs Leet Scholarship Fund at Northwest for entering freshmen, and a family and consumer sciences program and scholarship named for Dick's mentor, J. Gordon Strong. In addition to service as chair of Northwest's successful inaugural capital campaign, both Dick and Phyllis served on the board of Northwest Foundation. Phyllis went to grade school in a country schoolhouse with approximately 20 children from various grades. When she was in the 6th grade, there were only 2 students left attending. The school closed shortly after that, and Phyllis rode her horse approximately 2 miles to her grandmother's house, where she caught the bus for a 7-mile ride to school. Phyllis graduated with a home economics degree from Northwest Missouri State and married Dick shortly thereafter and worked to help pay the bills while Dick was pursuing his PhD at Ohio State. When Dick advanced in leadership roles at Amico, Phyllis ran the house and organized the family's activities, but all the while serving in as many community, volunteer, and church leadership positions as were available in a 24-hour day. As the children moved out of the house to attend college, Phyllis and Dick traveled the world, often as joint representatives of Amico and of the USA. Her feel for people was so strong that she quickly became recognized in her circle as a mentor and advisor for new members of the Amico leadership team. She often would teach others appropriate protocols and customs, particularly in Asian environs. In her civic life, she was always focused on women's education and children. She was the driving force behind Northwest Missouri State's Department of Family and Children. And being so dedicated, Phyllis has also been dedicated in serving those who are most in need, usually at the hospital as a volunteer. At Northeast Georgia Health Systems here in Gainesville, Wednesday is known as Phyllis's day to run the hospital. That's the day she volunteers, where she is a fixture of both care and support for those most in need. And as I said, Northeast Georgia is the 4th hospital in which she has volunteered. Her unwavering support of and devotion to both family and community are unmatched. Myra and I often return home after dinner with the Leets and wonder where Phyllis gets the energy, especially to put up with Dick for 60 years. But the answer is really simple. She has a deep, unquestioning, and abiding love in her lifetime partner. She has a mother's deep appreciation and dedication to her children, and she has a humble appreciation for her God's creation. For years, Phyllis has been a member of the PEO, a women's group that supports women's education, and she served as the president of the Gainesville chapter. Dick and Phyllis, I am truly, truly honored to know you all. And I'm very happy to announce that tonight, Brenau University, by consent of the faculty and full endorsement of the Board of Trustees, confer upon you and both of you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters. And it's with sincere appreciation of a grateful university that we present it to both of you. And will your family come forward, and Matt, will you present the degree?